Alright, welcome everybody back to Speed Gaming 3 for another exciting matchup in the group stage of the 2023 Casual Boots Tournament. I'm Aria Stark 2942, joined on tracking by JLo7, and tonight we've got a pretty exciting matchup here in Group AO. It is GFE, semi-finalist in last year's main tournament at 2-0, taking on misterangrypants at 0-1. Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Two very skilled players here going at it in Kaz Boots. Other two members of this group, Nightclaw, who is 3-1, Frankie Fusion 22 at 0-3, but still a lot of wiggle room to play here in Group AO. So it should be a lot of fun between, again, two really skilled players. GFE, as we can see in the file name, GFE Agaped did note last night in chat that he has been getting nothing but Aga and Ped seeds. And we're underway here. Again, casual boots, players start with the boots. They will likely use the quote-unquote ghost sword to dash through these bushes as we see on both sides before picking up the real sword from our dearly departed uncle and go through the escape sequence. We did see an empty bottle in Link's house, so again, nice early pickup here. It's going to be an extra check that can get done right away in Kakariko. And a full heart from our dearly departed uncle, and making that escape sequence a lot more was a little less concerning health-wise. Let's go with that. And I believe right now we are listening to GFE's MSU, which is the Mega Man mix. It is pretty tough to take your uncle's heart, but you know, we're not necessarily sure if he needed it anymore, and it might serve the players better at this point. Immediate small key here, our first blue guard room. Again, that small key was guaranteed to come out at least by the time players get through Dark Cross. The map, the only other dungeon item that they have to keep an eye out for. Some very nice dash lines on both sides. Just a piece of heart there in that second blue guard room, so not terribly much to write home about early on. That bottle is very nice. GFE getting a little unlucky with a couple of those slashes clinking off the Mullen Chain Guard's ball there, but does a good job closing out, as does misterangrypants. Just 20 rupees in Zelda's cell, so both players going to make their way back to the front of Hyrule Castle here. Again, that extra heart that they picked up off Uncle, paying a bit of dividends here. It's much less stressful to be going back through the front of Escape on 2 hearts, 2.5, as opposed to 1, and having some bad RNG potentially put you in a precarious spot. And we've yet to see the map. GFE, the first player to push the mantle, head here into the back of escape. misterangrypants not too far behind. Even with a couple of bonks, both players have been very efficient here in this escape sequence. misterangrypants picking up that extra heart just in case. There's the fire rod in Dark Cross, so a very nice early find. GFE getting a little bit unlucky with where that key rat came out. Set up nicely for a potential quick grab. misterangrypants very nice right behind. And back of escape, 10 arrows, the map, and another 10 arrows. So there's an item to be found in Sanctuary. And GFE doing that quick immediate about face there to pick up that full magic one that also dropped on misterangrypants' side. So again, you pick up that early fire rod to get an immediate full magic decanter there is pretty awesome. GFE's going to come through that door into Sanctuary for a second full heart. Just a few seconds ahead of misterangrypants. Not very solid escapes from both players. And yeah, we're going to see bonk rocks here on GFE's side immediately, with misterangrypants likely to follow right behind. Players did not get much in the way of money, just a couple of 20s in that escape sequence. And there's a glove in bonk rocks, so yeah, nice early glove. Certainly not turning that down early in the seed. We'll see how much more the players pick up here. That can potentially open access to the mountain and otherwise. GFE got that secondary tree pull, just Hearts attempted to set the first one, and Pickle not really playing kind there. But the Crabs dropping bombs and GFE maximizing that right there. Going from nothing to 9 bombs. Blink of an eye. Very tough to tell what that was on GFE's side. It sort of looked like the bottom of a bottle. Either way, it does not really seem like it's anything the players will be interested in. GFE meanwhile making his way into the woods, and a nice 300. Again, Kaz boots. Those boots afford one the option of a pretty easy water walk down on South Shore, and to get a 300 drop very early is absolutely convenient. Trio of bombs in the whale actually, or yeah, in the Thief's drop down. Not really helpful for GFE after he was able to farm so many off the crab, but misterangrypants will gladly take those, I'm sure. And that tier 1 tree pole looks like it was full magic, which would have been great if players hadn't already picked one up during the back of escape. GFE, the first player into Kakariko. misterangrypants not too far behind. Again, both players in great shape money-wise for Kakariko purposes, and will be likely fairly decent shape heading to South Shore. And there's the nice free Moon Pearl sitting in Blind's hut. 50 rupees, Ether Medallion, and another 50 rupees. And the third full heart we've seen, so Seed providing a good amount of money, good amount of health early on, already 2 pieces of Dark World access. GFE giving us our first look at the well. 10 arrows in the first chest. And that's our second 300 drop, so yeah, Zora money not a concern, and both players will be fairly decent shape for money once they get into Dark World, but there is a bow in the well as well that both players will be picking up here. Quick map check. Looks like nothing but blue crystals in the Light World. Just a piece of heart off of the bottle guy, just 20 rupees in Chicken Hut. Not every check can be a winner here, but this has been a pretty nice Kakariko for the two players. And again, that immediate bottle that they got in Link's house allows them to knock out the Sitka check right now for another 20. And a third 20 rupee pickup here in the final handful of checks in Kakariko. GFE is going to give us our first look at library and race game, and then it will be interesting to see where the players head after that. Obviously they have the entirety of South Shore, but a nice early mirror too. A quality find here, and right now the mountain not in logic, but depending on how aggressive the players want to be with that, Harrow would technically be beatable right now, but we'll see where GFE opts to head here. Again, South Shore in play, Saha Eastern also a possibility. GFE is going to begin by heading to the dam. Meanwhile, misterangrypants opting against checking the race game, just going to do it sight unseen. Fortunately, not going to be too thrilled with yet another 20 there. Not terribly much time lost. GFE beginning his South Shore trek here at the dam. Just a trio bombs and yet another 20. And he's going to head right to Mini Moldorm. We'll see how misterangrypants opts to route this, and it looks like he is also going to start at the dam. GFE meanwhile making full use of that early full magic drop and that ether medallion, getting rid of the Mini Moldorms swiftly. Cane of Samaria, again, no real immediate dividends that's going to provide, but it is a great thing to find, most likely going to be required in this seed. And even in seeds where it's not hard required, it can definitely have utility. But a bit of divergence here. misterangrypants is going to opt to clear out Agina. We'll see if we also get the Desert Ledge check, while GFE heads right to Ice Rod Cave. And there's the hammer sitting on Desert Ledge, so that is pretty good info on misterangrypants' side. And just a 20 in Ice Rod Cave for GFE. You're going to get the Agina check on misterangrypants' side, and yet another 20. So GFE has set up a water walk here. You give us a look at Lake Hylia Island. Yet another red 20. To answer a question, Chad, this is casual boots. So the players start with the boots and a sword, and they have a standard start, so they complete the escape sequence before heading into the rest of the seed. GFE picking up first shield off of the friend under the bridge. He's gonna fake flipper back down, head up to the Zora area here. misterangrypants gonna make his way into Mini Moldorm Cave. Not terribly much to find until we get to this last chest, which is the Cane of Samaria. So first look here at Waterfall Ferry. GFE is also probably going to make use of being able to toss the bottle in, see if we can get anything off of it. And red potion, that is pretty nice. Mister has made his way to Ice Rod Cave, so it's likely that he is going to follow in GFE's footsteps here. Zora Ledge, it was a very quick look by GFE. Did not see if there's anything of significance there. GFE opting to remove his Waterwalk state there. Heads to Zora, 500 rupees, buys you 3 bombs. The GFE is going to set up a splash delete here. Very nicely done. And what was it that GFE gave a really quick look at and wanted? It is the Ice Rod. Alright, we don't yet know if that's required, but very nice splash deletion there by GFE. And GFE is going to head now to Saha and quite likely Eastern after this. The only other check he has remaining is Agina. So GFE is going to opt to knock out Eastern Palace first and then Saha. Obviously with this setup, having that early glove totally makes sense. And what feels like our 50th red 20 already this seed. Not quite that much, but it has definitely made its presence felt here. Yeah, very good point in chat. Again, most of Eastern could still be in Logic, as long as the big key is not in its vanilla location. The Fire Rod does put the back in Logic, given that there are torches in the Igor key room. Good point by Josh. There's definitely a possibility for Book here to go get that hammer and make that nice clean Dark World access. Right now Mr. Angry Pants does have the knowledge of that hammer sitting on Desert Ledge, but if this area is meant pretty much just to get you out to Desert, it's not going to harm GFE in any way. Mr. Angry Pants setting up for his own splash deletion. Very nicely done. Good job on both players there. And rewarded with his Ice Rod as well. So we're surely going to see Mr. Angry Pants follow GFE's lead here to Eastern. GFE making his way through the dark rooms. And this seed has been very generous in terms of health, both players with 8 hearts. So Eastern was in Logic without the lamp here. And there's that book. It is just sitting in Sahasrara, picked up here by Mr. Angry Pants. 300 rupees in the big chest of Eastern. Interesting call here from Mr. Angry Pants. He's going to opt to save and quit out of Saha and beeline it to the desert area. Desert is clearable with what Mr. Angry Pants has. We'll get that hammer. Perhaps a little bit surprising to not see Eastern get paired there for that closeout. Again, we have not seen either player set foot in Dark World as of yet, so we do not know which 3 Dark World dungeons are going to be pendants. Yeah, the hope is obviously right, as Josh does note. You would hope to combo it, but again, there's also the possibility that pod will not be necessary. And there's a second sword on Armos Knights for GFE, and his first crystal on the board. And so we have Mr. Angrypants here in Desert, GFE. Gonna head to Saha, gonna pick up his book, and is likely going to follow suit into Desert and learn in just a matter of moments that not only is this another clearable crystal dungeon, but the hammer for Dark World access is just sitting on Desert Ledge. And there is that book for GFE. We have the OK Boomerang on Mr. Angrypants' side. And there's the second item, so yeah, progression-wise, Desert is the hammer that's on Desert Ledge. Not the dungeon itself, save for the fact that it will be the first crystal for Mr. Angrypants, and the second for GFE most likely. There is the hammer pickup on Mr. Angrypants' side, and he is also leaving the desert area. That also comes as a bit of a surprise here. Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to be heading here to the Mire area anyway. You might as well just close out Desert, one might think. But we're going to head straight into Dark World here on Mr. Angrypants' side to Hype Cave. Pick up 50 rupees from our friend in the front. Yet more red 20s. 10 arrows and 3 bombs. On the Hype Cave rating scale, I don't think it rated out terribly well, gotta say. GFE has made his way through the main part of Desert Palace. Going to pick up his hammer and is going to go to the back to take on land mode. Mr. Angrypants giving us our first look at Cave 45, just another trio of bombs. Our friend on the stump, just a piece of heart. So this Hype to dig play has not yielded anything as of yet for Mr. Angrypants. Still yet to see a Dark World map check, perhaps after we get through a dig game. GFE with Fire Rod and Master Sword. should be able to make pretty quick work of Landmos. Just a trio bombs on dig game. At least it was fairly quick for Mr. Angry Pants. And GFE breaking out that hammer to close out Landmos with relative ease. Crystal number 2 on the board here for GFE. GFE also with Dark World access. Will be interesting to see where he opts to head here. Mr. Angry Pants heading north of Kakariko. GFE does have the Agena check that he left initially. So he's going to clean this up. Mr. Angry Pants, pretty good thought here. If this is your access point to Dark World, you got that early book, you might as well knock it out. See if Pedestal is potentially in play, and it is not. So regardless of what our Dark World Pendant Crystal layout is, Pedestal will not be a part of it. GFE looking like he is going to start his Dark World track here, the same spot as Mr. Angry Pants at Hype Cave. If we get a map check on either side sometime in the near future. There it is on GFE's side, Red Crystals, Pod, and TR. That much I caught. Just game on Mr. Angry Pants' side, not very much. It's a very quick map check by GFE though. And another piece of heart in the brewery. GFE giving us a different look here. Again, Pod is a 5/6 crystal. GFE has the mirror, has a fire rod, has a bow. Not in logic without lamp, but for a player of GFE skill level, obviously not a major concern. C-shaped house, unfortunately, just yet another piece of heart. And here's our map check from Mr. Angry Pants. So it is Swamp, Thieves, and Skullwoods as our pendants. The green pendant in Swamp. As GFE heads into Crystal Pond, we are going to see Pendant Thieves, or at the very least the front of Pendant Thieves here on Mr. Angry Pants' side. We'll see how far he opts to dive into this dungeon. And there's the third sword. Here's the first item in Pod, Bow-locked Pod. Again, not a problem. Early bow for both players. And it is definitely going to be interesting to see if Mr. Angry Pants will opt to go deep. He did find 2 immediate dungeon items that weren't the big key. And Blue Mail, pretty nice. You'll absolutely take that. It's going to find the big key here. So there are 3 items in the back. They're all in logic. Yeah, looks like Mr. Angry Pants is indeed going to take it to the back of Pendant Thieves. The locked side of Pod yields a small key and the big key, so GFE knows that the other 3 chests here in the front of Pod are small keys. is the 6th small key, not all picked up by GFE, but he does know that there is something in Hellway. He does find the compass. Did not happen to spot what Mr. Angrypants picked up in the attic of Thieves Town. GFE gonna set up a hammer jump here. Just a piece of heart in the big chest. Stun prize in this seed appears to only be 5 rubies. And there's the map. So one more item here in the maze, and then an item on Helmasaur. And just a piece of heart in Blind Cell. And 10 arrows at the top of the pod, Dark Maze. So JP's going to make his way downstairs for a Helmasaur fight. He's sitting at just 3 hearts. There are 3 safety hearts in the upcoming room if he opts to use that. And good call. JP is still on green mail. As Mr. Angrypants heads into his fight against Pendant Blind. Took a hit from the floating head, recovered pretty nicely, does have to be a little bit careful, down to 4 hearts. Pops the red potion for safety, but does finish off Blind, and is only rewarded with a full heart and the first pendant. Now, pretty aggressive play there from Mr. Angrypants, as Hawk is noting in chat. Did eschew going to beat Eastern, closing out Desert, and cleared pendant thieves here, but we will see what the plan is here. As we did see, Skullwoods is another pendant. GFE, meanwhile, very nice job navigating the dark rooms downstairs in pod. Gets into his Helmasaur fight. 17 hammer hits. Mr. Angrypants immediately heading to the middle room here in Skullwoods. And no problem with Helma for GFE. Big key there in the middle of Skull. And there are the mitts sitting on Helmasaur. So very nice additional pickup for GFE. And things have worked out very well for him in terms of routing. Obviously those mitts not yet in logic without the lamp, but you know, with the skill level both these players possess, that's not a massive concern. Mr. Angrypants now back in the front of Skullwoods. That big key led to a small key, as Skullwoods is wont to do. GFE here. Ooh, very aggressive, setting up a splash deletion and is going to sequence break Ice Palace. Obviously, with Swamp being a green pendant, there's no guarantee that the flippers are required for anything more than logical Ice Palace access. With the Cane of Samaria, Tempered Sword, GFE, knowing that he can be very aggressive here in this dungeon. Mr. Angrypants did pull the flute out of Skull Woods. No, GFE beat Desert. So that flute is a nice find here for Mr. Angrypants. Again, that's not really necessarily a high priority spot for GFE. It does put a good portion of the mountain in logic for Mr. Angrypants. Look at Bumper Ledge, which is just the blue boomerang. That is not going to be picked up here. So GFE makes his way through ice. Mr. Angrypants is going to give us our first look at the Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb checks. There's the hookshot in Graveyard Ledge. So that is another very nice find from Mr. Angrypants. Again, those are a couple awkward areas here for GFE, especially with those mitts. You'll see what he opts to do after Ice Palace, but the flute in Skull Woods is hard required. For the majority of players, hookshot is required even when Swamp Palace is a pendant. And King's Tomb is yielding the shovel, so we will see what value, if any, that actually has. Mr. Angrypants setting up a splash solution again here. Can attempt to make his way. Oh, it was a very noble attempt, but the Hinox's bomb came in the absolute worst place there, right as he was about to get onto the ladder. But another very nice job there by Mr. Angrypants. And yep, has made his way over to East Dark World again. He's going to give us our first look at Catfish, most likely, as well as potentially purchasing a potion here. GFE having to be a little bit careful, down to 1 heart. He's got 1 puff down. Another spin takes down a second. And the third, so GFE clutching out that cold stare fight. And cold stare can hit like a truck when you are on green mail, as is the case for GFE. But he clutched it out. That is a 4 crystal lead at the moment for GFE. So Mr. Angrypants has come up with a couple key items here: that flute in Skull Woods, the hookshot and Graveyard Ledge. But GFE has done a very good job of just amassing crystals here early in this seed. Now that flute does afford Mr. Angrypants some more ease in mobility. Again, his early Eastern skip did afford him this opportunity if Pod was a crystal to come here and knock them both out at once. So he could start to chip away at GFE's crystal lead right now. GFE doing that immediate King's Tomb check and getting the shovel, but we do know that the Graveyard Ledge, those two, is one that is probably the more critical check. It's definitely pretty reasonable at this point here for GFE. He does have a good amount of stuff that he can do on the mountain. So even though right now it is technically out of logic for GFE, we do know that the flute is available in Skullwoods. That does put this mountain play in logic. And that could be GFE's thought process too. Again, he's been very aggressive thus far. And is rewarded with a mushroom from Gary, so we will see whether that has any value. Mr. Angrypants making his way to Palace of Darkness, picking up his second sword in that first chest. And nothing of value in Spectacle Rock or in Spec Rock Cave, so GFE going to mirror here. Again, does not have that hook shot that Mr. Angrypants picked up in Graveyard Ledge, so Hera Pot right now not a possibility for GFE. But can still be Hera. We're going to get our first look at Ether Tablet as well. And just a piece of heart. Mr. Angrypants making his way here through Palace of Darkness. GFE finding that big key in the first check of Hera. Definitely like to see that when you don't have the option of Hera Pot on the table. And there's the small key that you probably were less thrilled to see. Mr. Angrypants making his way to the back of Pod. And there is the lamp at the top of Tower of Hera. So that does give GFE some really critical information, actually. He now knows that the flute is somewhere down in the overworld, and that was meant as the logical mountain access. Fire being a crystal makes it a little easier for GFE to understand what he needs to be checking out here after he gets done with his play on the mountain. And in the blink of an eye, Temper Sword Slash and a spin, Moldorm is done. That's a second shield, second item in Hera, and crystal number 5 for GFE. And depending what the medallion is, there's a potential for that GFE could be able to put crystal number 6 on the board here. Mr. Angrypants setting up a very nice hammer yump. He continues to make his way through Pod. Obviously the mitts on Helmasaur, the big prize to be found in the Palace of Darkness. And it is Bombos to get into TR, so it's not necessarily going to be quite that easy for GFE. Again, no hook shot on GFE's side. And he has the bunkable chest here. That is in logic and just 10 arrows. For First look at Super Bunny, trio of bombs, and another piece of heart. So GFE still has a few more checks, most notably Paradox Cave up here. And we have found the boots and half magic. A little bit sad to see the boots in green 20 form, but they have been located. The remainder of Paradox Cave not terribly interesting. That half magic's certainly nice. GFE gonna set up a bomb jump to close out this loop of checks with Spiral Cave. Mr. Angrypants meanwhile making his way downstairs, heading into the Dark Turtles room and pod. Very nice job of using that sword as a guide. You hear that clanky turn down. Shoot the torch. Very good job there. Turtle's not playing super nicely here. I like that play though. Like that second torch. Don't leave anything to chance here. Just close out this room. Doing a very nice job in this dark dungeon as it is. And yeah, not terribly much else up there on the mountain for GFE. Although again, it did provide him with information. He knows that the flute is going to be available somewhere off the mountain. And having those mitts, it makes this route to the dig game area a lot easier, because you don't need to mirror and re-establish. Well, Mr. Angrypants has made his way to Helmasaur. Has the mask off. 4 tempered slashes. One more, I believe. Be careful, Mr. Angrypants. Oh, we're gonna use that potion just to be safe. Oh, he needed 2 more. Oh, he has on Master Sword. My bad. I kept thinking that he was on the same sword as GFE was, but yeah, it was 8 slashes. So yeah, that was a good job by Mr. Angrypants. Again, taking no chances in that situation. Make sure you close out that dungeon. And is rewarded with the mitts. Again, he does have the flute right now. We will see what GFE's plan is here in terms of thoroughness in this area. Bombo's tablet, nothing of importance. And we will get the first follow-up on the shovel check as well. And just a full heart that GFE gives a hard pass to. Mr. Angrypants put his first crystal on the board and is now going to head into Eastern. GFE going to clean up a few checks here that we have seen on Mr. Angrypants' side. And the 2 key takeaways from this area are the flute in the front of Pendant Skull and the hook shot that is sitting in Graveyard Ledge. Very quick dig game for GFE. Kind of got stuck having to pick up those bombs. But he can now head north into Village of Outcasts, and it looks like we are going to see a potential fake powder here as GFE burns through his magic. So he sets up the Smith Rusty. We've seen no parts of the Smith chain thus far. So these are all new checks on GFE's side. And, well, doesn't that feel a little bit unfortunate for GFE? Because he's pretty much going to still have to fake powder anyway, because he has no magic to use the powder. So, nice safety to have, but yeah. Probable still fake powder incoming, even with powder. Don't get to see it every day. And the Smith, just 10 arrows. And our friend the Bat in the check that we initially thought was going to be out of logic, but is now very much in logic, rides us with the clutch 20. Yeah, nothing much of benefit here for GFE thus far. GFE is going to make these checks here in the Village of Outcasts that we saw on Mr. Angry Pants' side. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, is making his way to the back of Eastern. And there's very little value in Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. The question is, how thorough will GFE be here in Village, and once he comes up with basically nothing here outside of the Village of Outcasts. Almost Knight's getting a little awry at the outset for Mr. Angry Pants, but does a good job of trying to track them both down, closing it out, picking up his third sword for the trouble. And that is the second crystal on Mr. Angry Pants' side. So we shall see what Mr. Angry Pants opts to do here. Loot to the Mire area really wouldn't be surprising, depending on how comfortable he is with like a Darkmire. Also heading back to the potion shop after using that blue potion in the back of Todd. Yeah, GFE here is looking like he's going to follow the lead that we saw earlier from Mr. Angry Pants in picking up just one item in the front and pushing it to the back of Pendant Thief. So this will give a little bit of time back to Mr. Angry Pants, who is indeed fluting out to Desert. Early on, we did see Mr. Angry Pants go through Desert, pick up both items in the hammer, but did not close out the dungeon. And it is Quake to get into Mire, so players have one medallion, and the two that they don't have are both required for dungeon entry. So, yeah, it's not merely a single item here necessary for no mode. Mire Shed coming up empty there for Mr. Angry Pants. We'll give a check here of Checkerboard Cave. And there is Bombos. So that is Turtle Rock entry here, and the ability to, again, if he heads to Hera first, complete Turtle Rock fully in logic as well on Mr. Angry Pants' side. So this actually works out very well for Mr. Angry Pants, potentially. And yeah, right now, Mr. Angry Pants is going to close out Desert. This would be his third crystal. GFE meanwhile making his way to the back of Thieves Town, going to blind sell. And finding that, unfortunately, Thieves pretty darn barren in this seed. GFE has upgraded to blue mail in this trip, but yeah, not too much else here. Good news for GFE is it is going to push him further north. But we do know that both Graveyard Ledge and the front of Skull are pretty significant. Probably the best case for GFE would be to go to Graveyard Ledge first, pick up that hook shot, and continue into Skull Woods, because it's very easy to see when picking up that flute. Heading out. GFE, very nice job staying on the script there with blind, closing it out. Landmo's not really playing nice here with Mr. Angry Pants, but has that tempered sword. Two of the Landmos are down, and that is number 3. So crystal number 3 on the board here for Mr. Angry Pants. And yeah, things have narrowed pretty considerably here. GFE coming up very empty-handed in Thieves Town. He's going to close things out with C-shaped house. But yeah, would not at all be a surprise to see Mr. Angry Pants head up the mountain here. Has a lot of checks available. And unbeknownst to him, the ability to close out Turtle Rock. But prior to that, Mr. Angry Pants is going to follow the lead that we did see of GFE earlier in the seed, and sequence break, ice pallets. Again, we don't know if flippers are needed for anything more than logical access to ice. And even go moding, or relatively go moding ice palace via icebreaker allows access to the chests pretty easily. GFE has beelined it right to Skull Woods, so he is going to pick up his flute, and the question is going to be, is GFE going to be thorough off of this check up north and also do the Graveyard Ledge check, or will he opt to use that flute to head to the Mire area? But prior to that, GFE is going to take it straight to the back of Skull Woods. Swipe the small key in addition to picking up that big key. We did see the pedestal check on Mr. Angry Pants' side. It is nothing in this seed. GFE has not done that check yet. This would be his second pendant. Nice icebreaker on Mr. Angry Pants' side. I do not know whether GFE hovers. Yeah, and the question whether he goes to Graveyard Ledge is definitely a fair one. I would say, if anything, that this route for GFE could potentially give him the better chance of going there, since he is going to work his way back to the front of Skull. He's then going to come out in order to activate the flute anyway. He may want to just close out, peeking the bumper ledge and close out Graveyard Ledge, just so he does not have an additional straight check. But yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty important moment here in this race. GFE is going to give a quick check of head. No better time to do it than right now, and learning that it is nothing. And he did get the second item in Skullwoods off of Moth. For GFE, in his mind, that is the first item that he has seen. So still one more in the front. GFE making his way back to the front of Pendant Skull Woods. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, continuing to march his way through Ice Palace. There is that flute for GFE sitting in the front of Skull. So yeah, let's see what GFE opts to do here. Again, will he be comprehensive, knock out these straight checks? And GFE is heading right. He's going to check Bumper Ledge, and this would make me think that he will check Graveyard Ledge as well, which would work out very well for him. Again, there was the serious danger of Graveyard Ledge getting orphaned, especially since GFE got the mitts first, was able to do King's Tomb right after a save and quit. But yeah, this is going to work out very well for GFE. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, has entered his Cold Stare fight. The pups got away a little bit, so we'll see how he cleans this up using that Fire Rod judiciously, trying to set up for some tempered spins. And having that blue mail, definitely more advantageous than when GFE was in here with green. Still have to be careful, but 2 puffs are down. Third one not playing nicely at all. And Mr. Angerman's opting to use that potion in hopes of killing this little final puff with the Fire Rod, which he does. So yeah, Mr. Angry Pants has used his full arsenal to its fullest. Avoiding deaths on boss is very important, and is even the crystal count here. GFE, meanwhile, surely doesn't feel great about fully clearing 2 pendant dungeons, especially when pedestal is not required, but he did need to dive Skull for that flute, and cleaning up Graveyard Ledge is exceptionally important. So yeah, it is Quake for Go mode. Right now, GFE still holding a 1 crystal advantage, and Mr. Angry Pants will be able to finish off Hera, likely with little trouble. Meanwhile, GFE is going to head to the Mire area immediately, which is also going to be very good news for him. It is going to provide him with the Bombos medallion that he needs for entry into Turtle Rock. Very nice dash there by GFE. Mire Shed just bunny and some bombs, but it is Checkerboard Cave that has the goods once again in a Casboot Seed. Mr. Angry Pants picking up that mushroom from Gary, which we did see on GFE in the turn-in, was the Cane of Burna. GFE, though, picks up his bombos. He's going to be heading back to the mountain, most likely. It sure is. He also has the remainder of Hookshot Cave now available. So yeah, right now, definitely say that the advantage still sitting in GFE's favor. He does have that Tower of Hera clear on Mr. Angry Pants, who's done a very good job of cracking back after at one point being down 4 crystals to none. But for GFE, things definitely worked out by getting that flute and also working in that Graveyard Ledge check for this hook shot here. But yes, we are over an hour into this seed, and again, just Quake from Go mode. If you like what you've seen, please give these runners a follow. Been fortunate enough to interact with both of them in this community, both tremendous players and runners. They put on a great show here today. And again, major thanks to our tracker JLo7 as well, who's been doing an outstanding job keeping us on track, keeping things going here. GFE is going to open the Turtle Rock entrance, but absolutely makes sense here. Go to Hookshot Cave. Get these last 3 checks that he had to leave behind in his initial mountain trip. And there's Red Mail, which turns GFE's sprite green. We won't ask questions as to that. As someone who plays with a sprite that starts green and goes to, or starts blue and goes to green, zero judgment here. We have plenty of health and safety in Hookshot Cave, but not the Quake Medallion that GFE was looking for there. Mr. Angry Pants going to do a couple checks here that we did see from GFE during his trip up the mountain. Again, not terribly much of value in Hera, save for the map. No, not the map, I am sorry, the lamp. It has several of the same letters, and it's very much not the same thing. Big key and the small key in the fire rod locked room here in Turtle Rock for GFE. Mr. Angry Pants here picking up both keys in the front of Turtle Rock. He does have the opportunity to Herapot that GFE did not early on. And just a full heart there on GFE's side. So in the event that that Turtle Rock here and Mimic Cave don't come through, the options remaining, I don't believe we have seen Pyramid Ledge, and I'm not sure about Catfish either. We did not see the purple chest from GFE. We also have Spike Cave, which is in logic after that Burna pickup from GFE. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, getting his lamp in the Tower of Hera. Going to take on Moldorm. Yeah, I agree with our tracker, JLo. It was a pretty sizable lead for GFE at one point, but again, Mr. Angry Pants has done a very good job of tracking GFE down. GFE, again, making a lot of the same reasonable plays that Mr. Angry Pants made early, and they just didn't happen to have terribly much. And just a map in the vanilla big key chest of Turtle Rock here. So Mr. Angry Pants was able to take out Moldorm. That is crystal number 5 on his side. He's going to open the TR portal here. As well as the entrance, we will likely see the other checks from Mr. Angry Pants before he follows GFE into Turtle Rock. And just a piece of heart in Mimic Cave, but proven wrong here. Mr. Angry Pants is actually heading straight into Turtle Rock. We do know that in those assorted checks outside, there actually really isn't anything. So this could be a pretty significant time save for Mr. Angry Pants if Quake is here in Turtle Rock. Yeah, we have seen Pedestal. It is just money, Both players did make that check. Mr. Angry Pants made it a little bit earlier when he still had standard Dark World access, while GFE did the check after beating Pendant Skullwoods. But yeah, flippers are probably something that the players are really not hoping to see at this point, but they also were logically required to beat Ice Palace, so the odds are that they would show up at some point, and Turtle Rock has been known to house the flippers from time to time. And speak of the devil, there are the flippers on Laser Bridge. GFE does have to be a little bit careful. I'm going to pull out the Cane of Berna here, down to a heart and a half. And yeah, pretty much precisely what the players might not have wanted to see. That could be a positive, though, for GFE. Again, Mr. Angry Pants did not check the other checks outside on East Death Mountain, which really aren't anything, but that could be a little extra time that he spends after Turtle Rock. As noted in chat, the Big Bomb is definitely going to be in play after Turtle Rock. GFE living a little dangerous here in TR, again down to a heart and a half. Is on red mail. Setting up for that double spin and a slash end. Trinex is down. So yeah, and it definitely would not be a surprise to see, providing that Quake is not right here, which it is not, GFE head over to Spike Cave. After this, yeah, we have the purple chest, we have Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge, Catfish, and Green Pendant Swamp. And GFE is going to be heading back across the top of the mountain here, give us our Spike Cave check. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, heading to Mimic Cave, and then going to head to the back of Turtle Rock. And just 20 rupees in Spike Cave for GFE, so the rest of the mountain was not the answer here in our search for Quake. But it could be, if that second 5-6 crystal leads to Quake in Pyramid Fairy, which is likely, well, we will see. This entry portal could lead us to Pendant Swamp, it could lead us to Pyramid Fairy. We'll see what GFE opts for in this situation. Hammer dashes through, and yep, it is going to be that Big Bomb check here. Again, compare it in with the couple of other checks that he has not yet done. Mr. Angry Pants got down to 3.5 hearts here in the maze, using that hook shot to preserve health a little bit. Pyramid Ledge, just 10 arrows, so the players haven't been missing out on anything there. Check of Pyramid Fairy is our 4th sword and a piece of heart. So gold sword for GFE. But it is not the Quake medallion that he's looking for right now. Down to a half a heart on Laser Bridge. Mr. Angry Pants going to set up that safety door. And again, especially this late in the seed, there's no reason to try to force things. Unfortunate death there for Mr. Angry Pants. Again, that safety door proving valuable. Trying to use these dash skips to skip the lasers here. Catfish not the answer either though. So GFE is going to... He's going to knock out the purple chest here, and yeah, I can definitely see this as his one-off. It's, again, not fast, but if this is the answer, and you clear out the entirety of Green Pendant Swamp and that turn-in, and it's just been sitting on purple chest, it totally makes sense. Mr. Angry Pants did pick up his flippers near the top of Laser Bridge and is about to head to Trinex here. Zelga to Sun with the rate of 20. Welcome in Zelga and Raiders to SpeedGaming 3, this race between GFE and Mr. Angry Pants. We are presently searching for the Quake Medallion for entry into Misery Mire. Could Quake be at Waterfall? No, that was checked very early by the players. Yeah, GFE built an early lead in the seed. Mr. Angry Pants was able to cut into it by finding the flute in the front of Pendant Skull and the hook shot in Graveyard Ledge. That allowed him to catch up a bit, but GFE eventually made his way to both of those spots, which turned out to be pretty fortuitous. Got his third shield off of the purple chest turn-in, but yeah, it is down to Green Pendant Swamp Palace for GFE. Mr. Angry Pants, though, very nice job on Trinex closing that out. That is crystal number 6. But yeah, as we did note, when Mr. Angry Pants went into TR, he does have quite a few checks still remaining on the mountain that he does have to close out before he can pick up trying to clear the overworld, and as we have found out here, have to head to Pendant Swamp. The mountain itself really did not have much. Those flippers on Laser Bridge, it turns out, were indeed absolutely required. Players certainly not going to turn down that lamp they got for free in Hera, but yep, down to a medallion check and not that much left. And GFE's going to show us the Specs Club here, backing into that bomb hook shot into the rail clip, and that's how it's done. That clip is permitted in this tournament. Very nice job there by GFE. Mr. Angry Pants clearing out. Super Bunny Hookshot Cave coming up with not terribly much. That's still not checked under Spectacle Rock, which was just a single rupee. Diver down here on GFE's side in the back of Swamp Palace, and just a bunch of arrows. Yeah, right now GFE is down to Swamp Palace or something adjacent to Swamp Palace, i.e. the Green Pendant turn-in. So it is likely that he's going to be comprehensive. And unfortunately, Mr. Angry Pants taking a death in the back of Spike K, but fortunately did have that fairy in the pocket. And yep, just 20 rupees, so Mr. Angry Pants getting the unfortunate news that his answer was not up on the mountain. GFE, meanwhile, heading into this Argus fight. Gold Sword making quick work of the Argus buffs. 2 fire rod shots and a spin off that Gold Sword. Argus is down for the big key. So JV is almost certainly heading back in. And yeah, this is the Mega Man mix on GFE side for his MSU. Mr. Angry Pants gonna pick up his Cane of Burna here, potentially, whether he wants it or not. Pop the mushroom turn in. And scumming the mushroom. I don't. Oh yes, he has not picked up the he has not picked up that powder yet. So certainly fair, considering keeping the fake powder option as a consideration. We did see that on GFE's side. Set up for the fake powder, did hammer pegs, picked up the real powder, had no magic left, still had the fake powder. GFE picked up that key in the front here of Swamp as he heads back in. Spec flip again. Mr. Angry Pants though heading, we shall see. But yeah, there is the Quake Medallion in the big chest of Swamp Palace, so just under 121. GFE has hit go mode. It was required not only to get those flippers off the laser bridge, but to beat Pendant Swamp, 8 Argus for that big key, and come back in for your Quake Medallion. Mr. Angry Pants is going to follow GFE's lead here, pick up the big bomb. We'll get his 4th sword out of it, but GFE is going to be the first player here in go mode and head to Meyer. Very nice job there by Mr. Angry Pants. Serving that bomb even after those dashes. We'll see how kind of a layout Meyer is. There are certainly folks in chat, I would say, who could explain that bomb dupe setup better than I can. I don't want to misstate anything. Yeah, and pretty much an ideal setup there for GFE. Big key right away, can beeline it to Vitreous. Mr. Angry Pants again being doing the same tricks we did see on GFE's side. Totally reasonable here. He got the mitts a little bit later too, so the entirety of the Smith chain is open to him. Thank you to Great Anti-Bob in chat for that explanation of how the bomb dupe works. Very much appreciated. Yeah, Gold Sword only gonna take a couple of spins per eye, but only a couple more slashes as well. GFE making quick work of the small eyes of Vitreous. 8 arrows to the big eye, and Mystery Meyer is done, and that is crystal number 7 in the books for GFE. And yeah, we're already starting to see numbers in chat. If you have a favorite number that you want to see the big key of GT to be, predict it will be, or if you have a specific location, as our friend Fear Agent likes to ask for, feel free to toss them in chat. If you are correct, you can win a lifetime supply of amazing seeds like this, where you have to go to Laser Bridge to get your flippers to get Go Mode in Pendant Swamp. These kind of seeds can be yours if you guess the GT Big Key correctly. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, is approaching the third of 4 legs here of this Smith chain and associated checks. Getting that clutch 20 off of the bat and flute away with this purple chest, which will have his 3rd shield. But yeah, as it's going to turn out, Mr. Angry Pants will have to make that play into Swamp as GFE did. Ice Armos left chest, I like that. I'm sure that GFE probably would not, but I like the specificity. I typically vote or choose something in Compass Room. GFE is making his way into Ganon's Tower and heading left. Yeah, that would be pretty rude, because there is very little left here for GFE, but the answer is 1. The answer is 1. Just go to the Torch Bunker and you get a big key. And nobody thought after this way the majority of this seed had gone. Oh, did our tractor, did J-Lo, did you get that? We'll take it. God Meyer, God GT Tower. You know what? After that sequence to get Quake, I'd say that the players deserve it. Well, congratulations to JLo. You win a lifetime supply of amazing seeds like this. And as you noted, you've tracked a bunch that have had required items in Swamp Big, so just rush Swamp Big. That's going to be the clear path to success in this tournament. Rush Swamp Big, rush Laser Bridge. But yeah, after having to do a whole bunch of stuff they had hoped to not, GFE is now making his way up Ganon's Tower. Still got 5 to play this tournament. Well, you know, we'll see if Sahabot's got trends going here. Yeah, Mr. Angry Pants is making his way into Swamp Palace, as we did see on GFE's side. Required to beat our friend Argus and then re-enter the dungeon for the big chest for the Quake Medallion. GFE making his way through the gauntlet very swiftly. Again, half magic, gold sword, red mail. Silver's the only thing really that the players could want that we have not seen. But we're also not going to see the vast majority of the checks in Ganon's Tower anyway. And there's still a little bit left in Swamp as well. Plus Meyer, so... GFE heading up here into the mini helmet room, does need to steal the key. Mini helmet's not behaving. And GFE is eschewing opening these chests. He is just making his march to Moldorm 2 and then Aga 2. Couple of gold slashes, even with some less than ideal movement there from Moldorm 2. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, going straight to the back of Swamp, which we do know is the best call here. But yeah, very nice climb by GFE. He's going to head into what is going to prove to be the only Aga fight we need to see in this seed. Yeah, good double there off of a tough spot in the second phase. That's 4 hits for GFE heading into the phase 4, and there it is. So GFE has closed out Aga 2. And is going to drop into the again fight. Mr. Angry Pants, meanwhile, making very short work of Argus, picking up that green pendant that we are not going to, well, hopefully not going to see turned in. But yeah, we'll almost certainly re-enter the dungeon and immediately pick up Go Mode Quake in the big chest. GFE is dropping into this Ganon fight again. Gold Sword makes getting through these first couple of phases pretty easy. 6 slashes there for phase 1. 6 for phase 2. 1 more for good measure and Ganon overkill, which is always appreciated. And 4 hits here in phase 3. And not terribly surprising, the arrows were in Ganon's tower. We did not find them, Ganon, because the big key was on the torch. On GFE side, we literally saw 1 item in your tower, so no. We did not get the silvers, but yeah, GFE here setting up 4 triples. Tough spot in that top right corner. Very nice setup here to get a triple in this cycle. And that is it. 12 spins to Ganon here. Ganon is defeated. Please get your GGs in chat for GFE, who's going to move to 3-0 here in the group stage of this tournament with an official racetime.gg time of 1:33:10. So yeah, very well played by both players. We do see Mr. Angry Pants here heading over to Meyer after picking up that Quake medallion. But very shortly after that, Mr. Angry Pants did opt to toss in the forfeit. Certainly understandable, still had a dungeon and GT to go, but please get your GGs in chat for Mr. Angry Pants too. Both players played this seed very well. And yeah, we're going to see if we can get them both into the booth for an interview shortly here. Yeah, definitely very interesting seed here. We are currently joined in chat by the winner of today's race, GFE. GG's GFE.
Thanks for the GGs. Good seed, right?
Oh yeah, it's tremendous. Tremendous. Do you have any initial impressions of that amazing seed that you just played?
Just everybody make sure you either know how to double water walk or splash delete. So that's all.
Yeah, that's something that with all the other things that happened in this seed, there were a lot of things from early in the seed that fell under the radar, such as you both successfully setting up the splash deletion to pick up that ice rod, which was very impressive. But yeah, it looks like we may also be joined in a moment by Mr. Angry Pants. And we are also joined in the booth by Mr. Angry Pants. GG's to you as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, GGs, man.
Yeah, so this was a pretty interesting seed. Early on, as odd as it may seem, GFE, you actually held a 4 crystal to 0 advantage before Mr. Angry Pants started cutting back into the lead. He did go into Skullwoods and Graveyard Ledge before you, so picked up that flute and the hook shot, which did allow him to cut back some time as you retraced his steps. Was there any particular reason that you made those early plays there, Pants?
Yeah, I mean, I had to make plays if I even stood a chance against GFE. So, as soon as I found the book, because I'd spied the hammer on the ledge, I just decided to go to Dark World. I hadn't done a map check either, so I wasn't sure if Eastern was a crystal, but it didn't really matter. I was more concerned with clearing efficiency. Essentially, my plan was, once I got the hammer, because I was gonna, because I already had the mirror, I was gonna do both Eastern and Pod at the same time, regardless of what they were.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and that's what a lot of the conjecture was in chat. Although I will tell you that your league teammate Hawk was busting your balls a little bit about leaving crystals in Eastern and Desert, but full clearing Pendant East Town.
Yeah, well, the Desert one was also, I'd gotten both items out of it, so there was no point in doing that. And I think, well, I also, yeah, I don't know. It was one of those I could have done it, but I got the items, and I was more focusing on trying to find items in bad places as early as possible.
Yeah, I wanted to combo Pod Eastern also, but I was not finding the hammer. And when I went to Eastern, since I had boots and the glove, I was like, I'm going to do Eastern before Saha. And I believe Book was in Saha, if I remember correctly, which blocked the hammer. So yeah, and then after Desert, I had to go out to the ledge to grab the hammer, so I may as well go ahead and finish off Landmo then, rather than having to mirror back later. The flute stung when I saw flute location, and then I went over and saw hookshot, which, you know, in my mind, like, I was thinking Moldorm bounce for a while. I wanted hookshot to show up because I hate having to do Moldorm bounce and I can't hover. But when I saw hookshot and I saw flute, and I had with my route, I had hard isolated purple chest. I was like, if one of these medallions is in purple chest, and I saw where Bombos was later, if Quake's in purple chest, then there is a perfect route to the seed, and I could get wrecked. But Quake instead was complete, utter trash. So that's all there is to say about that. I think I had the one item in left side swamp and green pendant left. So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think before I even touched Swamp, I think I had 3 checks left. And finally, and the hard last location, or the hard isolation for me was Spiral Cave. If something was there, I was never going back for that.
See, I chose to isolate Spike Cave.
Mhm.
And the reason for that, like when I saw Lamp in Hera, with everything I'd done, like in my mind, I was like, I could be in Flute for Go, and Lamp's here, so Flute's not on the mountain. So I rushed over to check TR Medallion.
Mhm.
And when I saw it wasn't either, I was like, okay, I guess I have to clear the mountain anyway, because Bombos could be up here. And then, of course, later on, Myers Quake. So Ether's not even important at all.
Yeah.
So I went from being like potentially 1 item from Go mode to being 3 items from Go mode.
Yeah, when I got the mitts out of TR, I realized, or sorry, out of pod, yeah, off of Helma. That was when I realized I was like, oh, I don't need flippers, so I could actually, and I didn't need the lamp, so I was thinking at that point I could possibly be in Go mode. But I was at Eastern, so I just wanted to finish Eastern real quick, and that's when I fluted over to check Meyer, and I was a little disappointed that it was not either, because I was really hoping to clear everything and then get up to the mountain, because I didn't touch the mountain until after I did Ice Out of Logic.
I mean, if Meyer had been Ether, you might have like farmed me, because, like I said, I got that flute super late.
Yeah, because I did do Thieves Town, and I was only going to do the front until 1 item showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like, well, I've already abandoned not doing Eastern yet, so I'm like, I gotta finish this one out. And I had checked Ped right before I went into the Dark World there, so I was like, because I didn't I didn't want to have to kill Blind or Mothula if I didn't have to.
I will let you know, you were even closer to finishing than you realize. Like, Meyer Big Key was Spike Chest, and GT Big Key was on the Torch. So it was like super fast from that point forward.
Well, that is good to know, but yeah, I was, as soon as I actually, when I went back into Swamp, I totally forgot about Big Chest, and I was setting up for Diver Down, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and check this and reset up. So, but like, I'm glad I did, because I didn't have to. I got it and was able to mirror out. Yeah, no, I don't know. I do enjoy when I play a really good player like GFE, because then I just let my inner clown just fully out. The paint and the wig are all on, and because I essentially have nothing to lose by doing what I feel is the best way I can win. So.
I mean, you played well. Played it well.
No, you did. You both played really well in this match. Yeah, we did have a little bit of concern for you, GFE, because again, right, you amassed that early crystal advantage. The routing was going actually really well until, for both of you, a lot of those dungeons and most of the mountain, quite frankly, was pretty barren. The concern was, again, you made your way north up to Village. You've cleared out Thieves Town. That there was the potential that you might head to the front of Skullwoods just to get that flute and head out without potentially getting that hook shot on Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah,
but
I was going for overall efficiency at that point, which, when I'd already done Back of Skull and came to the front and found flute, I was like, if I'd gotten this, I probably don't do back. But at that point, I was like, I'm at least going to go over to Graveyard Ledge, because if I don't do it now, and I got to check bumper anyway, then it's hard isolated. Oh, one other thing I forgot about. How'd everybody like my fake powder setup?
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah,
That was tremendous.
Who doesn't love like preemptively? It's almost like setting up a death warp and then getting like full heart refill or something. Like I was spamming lamp the whole time I was walking Smith up there, and then run out of magic right at hammer pegs and go in and see powder.
Yeah, I
that
hadn't
was
quite
nice.
gotten to the point of wasting my magic at that point. When I was doing hammer pegs, I was like, oh, I'll just bust out the fire rod and just fire it a whole bunch. But then I found the powder before I even got to that point. So
Yeah, I had half magic and I didn't feel like fire rodding it off. And with lamp, at least you can like do it on the move. So I was like, I'm just gonna do this ahead of time. And of course, it's right there.
Yeah, chat was wondering if we might actually see a couple of unintentional at the end fake powders there because you did scum that mushroom pants, but
yeah,
we're like, oh, we might get to see this twice in one seed of players dumping the magic and then getting the powder and having to fake powder anyway. But yeah, that was definitely a very entertaining moment.
yeah. I was pleased I was able to get that get the ice rod on the first try. It was when I saw it there, I was like, all right, well, and it was kind of nice that Zora gave you 3 bombs, so I was like, all right, I have numerous tries I can do with this.
Yeah. At the time we found it, it's like, yeah, this is nice. At least they've got it out of the way. And then, like, hour later, you see flips on Laser Bridge, and you're like, oh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At that point, like, flippers were the last thing I wanted to see because I don't know. Yeah. I did not want to go into swamp, and I don't know. I guess I got to do Specky Clip, so. First time I got to do it
twice. I got to mess it up once too.
I think I messed it up once each time I went in. So. I'll have to get that timing down. It's the timing is interesting with when you have to back up to the bomb.
Yeah, and apparently you must actually have to walk forward to the rail because like everything else about mine was set up right. I just didn't walk all the way forward, and for some reason it didn't work. So I don't know if that actually matters, but it seemed to this seed.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have for the two of you for this seed. I do know that GFE this moves you to 3-0.
That's correct.
And Mr. Angry Pants does drop you to 0-2, but again, still a lot of games to be played though, and including one more between the two of you. Is that on the schedule as of yet?
No, we haven't scheduled that one yet.
Yeah, I think that's the only match I have left to schedule. We'll probably knock that out here in the next day or so. Figure out where to play it.
Yeah. I think I have one scheduled for Wednesday and another one for Saturday or something like that.
I'm just ready for 3 more complete trash seeds because so far I'm 3 for 3. Although none of them match my first one, which was like a 150 something finish. Agaped seed with Moon Pearl on Pyramid, and Kane on Ped and Ice Rod on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I think for as full clear this seed was, the time wasn't too bad. I figure I probably would have gotten done in like another 12 minutes or something like that. Especially with where the big
was
keys
fast.
were. The only thing that would have fouled me up is if there was a small key in Hope Room, because I would have gone to Compass Room.
Okay.
But yeah. Thanks for doing the comms, Arya, and JLo for tracking, and SpeedGaming for setting up the restream, and everybody for tuning in to watch. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll echo that. Always fun.
Yeah,
and GG's to GFE.
Yeah, thanks, man. GG's and good luck on your other matches too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you both for, again, agreeing to be on Restream, putting on a great show for everybody. This was a really fun race to come and watch as well. And I, again, echo your sentiments to each other. I wish you both the best of luck the rest of the tournament. So yeah, that is going to do it for us tonight here on Speed Gaming 3. Again, major thanks to GFE and Mr. Angry Pants for putting on a great show for everybody. Thank you to our tracker JLo7 for doing an amazing job, and for Barracks for helping get things set up. This is going to do it for tonight for races in the Cas Boots tournament. I know that there are quite a few that people have shown interest in tomorrow, so please keep checking the schedule. There's a lot more rando to come, still another couple of weeks of group play. And yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to come a couple of matches here tonight, and hope that everybody has a great night.